let's talk innovation culture. And I've my background is in electrical engineering, and I've worked, in collaboration with a lot of innovation spaces and innovative organizations. And what I'm noticing, this is in the context of the areas I've interacted with, which is mostly in like Nairobi, Kenya, and a few other African countries. And I'm not generalizing, I'm just saying my observation. So what I'm noticing in the innovation culture is that we might be getting a few things wrong fundamentally. So what we are doing is that we are encouraging more people, to come up with ideas, which is amazing, and we are seeing, more people, thinking out of the box, creating things, which is good, and where the gap has really popped out to me is in how we are bringing up the younger generation. And I'm not talking about the people who are over 18. I'm talking about the people who are still in school, being nurtured for the future. The subliminary mindset and messages that we are sending to them by doing certain things and making certain choices, and even as maybe as educators or people who are stimulating the STEM environment, we are not aware that we are sending those subliminary messages. So let's start with the whole idea of consumerism. So when we talk about consumerism, we are saying that in Africa, the reason why our GDP is not really growing in most countries is because we consume more than we produce. So even beyond us teaching science, technology, engineering, maths, and maybe adding a bit of arts to our students, our younger generation, people we are mentoring, we need to instill in them the idea that they can create it right from an early age. We need to start telling them that they can do it, that it is possible, and modeling and showing that in a practical way, that we're living in a culture where, of course, some countries have built their brand. The United States of America, in spite of the fact that, it also has, issues of poverty and crime and everything, they have branded themselves to be the guys who are the land of opportunity. Everyone was scrambling to go there for after a while, and now people, are scrambling to come back to Africa. China has become the manufacturing hub of the world. Japan, and Japan and Germany have been recognized for quality. And we are, as most African countries, we seem to be in a sort of identity crisis. We have not yet found our brand, and our brand is being made by other people who want to exploit the market to see it a certain way. And worse still is that we allow them to define who we are, and we accept that. They come and tell us we are poor, and we just accept it. Nobody tries to speak up and go like, look, we are not who you say we are. Let us introduce you to ourselves. Let us introduce you to who we want you to know as us. So I've diverted a little. So to start creating that culture from an early age, we need to cultivate, mindsets of people who become producers, people who produce and create ideas for the world and create the next big Fortune 500 companies. And part of that, one of the solutions I can tell you that we came up with was that, for example, the tools that you use to educate your children, where do you get them from? So hypothetically, everyone's go-to is, let's get a Scratch, let's get this robotics kit from whatever country, from whichever country. First of all, you're already creating consumerism yourself. How about, I'm challenging STEM educators, how about first of all, try and use something that is locally made, or ask somebody, a local innovator, to build something that you would use to educate your children. It might not be very quick and quick to the money, but that sets a different precedence. The starting point, if you want a quick one, is use the board that we've already created. This is called Aries Development Board, made in Nairobi, Kenya, by local innovators. And by doing that, you're not just buying a book, you're just spending money. You are sending a message, and make sure they know that this is something that was made in Africa by an African, and you too, as a young African innovator, can grow up to become that person who creates products for the world. So I'm calling out, all these people who are in the STEM education, sector, and they feel like they're empowering young people with digital skills. However, it's an illusion, because you are still disenfranchising them. Because let me tell you the truth, if I grow up using a Raspberry Pi, and that's all that I know, when I go and try to practice, I'll be using a Raspberry Pi, and I have the delusion, it's not really, the delusion that I'm an innovative person, I'm building things for, solutions for people, I'm making a living. You're not making a living. Do you know why? Because for every product you build using one of those brands that are not local, that is value extracted from your company, from the economy, going to another place. I can't tell you which place it's going to, but that's the truth. I have nothing against you guys, Beaglebone, Pi, whatever your name, ESP. I have nothing against those guys. I'm just saying, stand for something. Stop thinking that you're so smart because you can use an ESP32. Who made ESP32? I'd rather you say you make your own board. Like, take the other way. It's gonna be the longer way, but we are gonna build Africa block at a time. We already kind of at the back of the line, but when we start becoming people who understand how to stimulate our economy, then that is definitely gonna be a game changer. It's not enough to just teach people technical skills. I am an engineer myself, and having done engineering, I felt that something was off, because after you come out and you realize that all you're doing is maintaining systems. You're maintaining system. You're not creating anything. You're maintaining system. Your brain was made to create. It's dying to create. It's just bubbling inside of you. It's like, I'm looking for something to create. And you're being put somewhere and told, like, this is just how things are. Maintain them in the way that they are. If they change, do something about. Or worse still, you're told to call somebody from China to come and fix it, and you're an engineer. We need to disrupt the status quo. We need to be uncomfortable with the situation. Like, wake up, Africa, wake up. We cannot do the same thing and expect different results. There's a reason why we keep hoping that our economy will grow, and all we're doing is going deeper in debt, because we cannot build our own systems. We're always having to outsource. Let's empower the youth in the right way. Thank you.